Okay, so we're back with our video sit-downs, and about a month ago, I contacted at least all the candidates running for office in Mason County, and I interviewed most of them. Thought I was done, but then all of a sudden, the auditor comes to me one day and says, "I don't know if you saw this. It's a write-in candidate for Mason County Auditor, and I am in the office of Charles Rhodes, and he's the guy who's running as a write-in candidate for the auditor's position." And Charles, to be fair, I offered to interview you as I do everybody in these things. So we're going to sit down and talk about you and who you are. So let's talk about Charles Rhodes.
Thank you.
So tell us about you. Give us a little bit about your background and why you decided to run.
My name is Charles Rhodes. I own All Pro Tax and Accounting. I've been an accountant for in January will be 39 years. I have done audits, tax, as well as bookkeeping for various companies, both small and medium and large companies. I ran as a write-in candidate because there was only one person that was a candidate for that position. I believed that Mason County residents should have a choice, and that's basically why I did it.
So you mentioned you have a great financial background.
I do.
So what about the other aspects of the auditor's office?
To be honest with you, I do not have the expertise in elections. However, I happen to know that they have an outstanding staff at Mason County. It would be an honor for them. I'm a great student. I think from an accounting standpoint, I do not know a lot of the people that work on the within the financial department of the auditor's office. However, as far as accounting, my background there, I think that I will be able to jump in and do what I need to do. With the other aspects, the elections, as well as recording, as well as the automobile plates, I'm going to have to rely on the staff to teach me.
So if elected, what will be your top priorities in the office?
To learn the deficiencies of what I do not already know. I think that part of my job is to, I have always, I've heard issues regarding the budgets. For me, I've always learned to live within my budgetary constraints. And because of that, I am looking to learn as much as I'm able to within the auditor's office.
You talked about the budget, and it seems to be a big challenge for all departments. Do you have any thoughts on the budget process and what you're getting yourself into? Is really
To be honest with you, right now, what we're looking at is we have a budget that has been presented to us. My job is, as I understand it, is to work within my budgetary parameters. By doing so, if something needs to be brought to the commissioners, need to be adjusted, then there is a process of which I can do that. But right now, I've never been in the office. I've never been in the auditor's office other than doing business. Their limitations, I'm not aware of what their constraints are right at this point. What I will tell you is this, that they have an outstanding group of people. The average age year of of the employees, I believe, is a little better than 10 years. They are knowledgeable. I'm going to rely on that knowledge to teach me.
You talked about the staff, service levels, and the closures of the office, and
Mm-hmm.
salaries, and trying to maintain what's there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have a plan for that?
Would I have a plan?
Do you have a plan to continue to at least continue the service levels that are there?
I'm going to continue with the service levels that are there because I don't think there's anything that I can do at this point to fix the customer service, them getting their customers in and out in a timely fashion. They are fantastic, and my job would be to try to maintain what has already been established by Karen Herr. I'm not saying that everything is perfect, but I don't know what the imperfections are at this time.
So, have you seen, in your experiences with the auditor's office, have you seen any inefficiencies that you could possibly make better?
Personally, me,
Yeah.
I have not.
Okay. So, as a write-in candidate, because this is different, people are going to get their ballot, and they're not going to see your name. So, what is the process to get you to the general election?
Well, we've created a site, a Facebook site, Charles Rhodes for Mason County Auditor, and it gives people the idea of, it basically gets our name out there. If I was on the general ballot, I would have done it the right way. There's enough people, I believe, in our community that know me that I think I would have an excellent chance. Am I cocky enough to think that being a write-in is not the most difficult? Absolutely. However, I think that if enough people know that I'm a write-in candidate, then they have the opportunity to either vote for me or not. If they want someone with financial experience, they're going to vote for me. If the other issues of plates as well as elections are more important to them, then they're going to vote for the opponent. Now, in all fairness, I do not know the opponent. I've never met him. I have no idea. I don't know his background other than what I've read and seen his interview. So I have nothing negative, and I wouldn't anyway, but I have nothing negative to say about him. I just know that he was unopposed. He came from a different area. And I believe, I've always believed, especially in this position, that our community, they deserve a choice, period. The people in our community, this is kind of like, let me see what you can do. This is a small community. We have a little better than 60,000 in our whole county. So I want, whether or not I'm elected or not, I want the community, the voters, to make that decision.
So I guess I'm looking for the process. I mean, people get their ballots and they go down to auditor and they see your opponent, and then they have this write-in, and you're supposed to write your name.
My name is, yes, sir.
How many? What is it? 1% of the vote?
1% of the total vote. Which it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's still challenging.
Okay.
We're having to make calls. We're contacting people that already have websites. They're spreading the word. I think I have a good chance. That's the best I can offer.
As we wrap this interview up, I like to give, I phrased it once as the elevator speech about, but a brief little statement that you can make to tell people why you should be our auditor.
Okay. All right. Okay. My 39 years of experience, both in financial auditing as well as general practice. I am a certified fraud examiner globally, licensed by, I am a PI licensed in both state Washington and Oregon, as far as someone who can figure things out to make them work, I'm your man.
Thank you for taking some time, Charles.
Thank you, sir.